2011 says, as long as they are alive until 20 years, even if they go for trial and they take the witness stand to testify about how they expended the money, when they come outside, the NSA will arrest them also because they have breached national security intelligence operation. That's why you take up on the level at the level of the National Security Council. The judge erred, and in fact, the ruling went beyond. The team will discuss that. But what we know is that the law already gives us the authority to go on the remedial process when the judge had made a decision, especially on the issue of authority, that he has gone beyond his authority. The judge, the trial court, has no authority. And that is a standard established by the Honorable Supreme Court by years of horror with age, that whenever constitutional issues are squarely raised, no court of law has the authority to determine and pass unconstitutional arguments beside the full bench of the Supreme Court. Under Article 61 that talks about immunity of the president. 61. No, it's 61. It's 61.
And not 51.
It's not 51, it's 61. Under Article 61 of the Constitution, the president is immune from all prosecution. The only time the president is not immune from prosecution, it must be certified by condition precedent. What are those conditions precedent? The condition precedents are the president must first be impeached and removed. Any leader in this country who has never been impeached and removed, every act or acts that he conducted or carried out or he assigned to his agents while serving as president, that extension of immunity covers them, and you cannot question those agents. This is the argument before the Supreme Court that will soon be appearing. Whether or not an agent or an advisor of the president serving at the level of the National Security Council, which they are creating the National Security Council, prohibits him that you cannot take the stand to testify on national security matters that have not been declassified. As we speak, the expenditure of the former government to maintain a peaceful transition, to divert and abort the threats to national security and the elections of 2023, the government presently has never declassified that information. Any of these officials who comes to court and to testify how that money was expended, who the agent that received it, and what area they assigned the agents for what purpose, they will go to jail.
Thank you for the understanding. We are on. That was LEC going off, and we had to switch to a generator. That's what it is in Liberia. Thank you so much for the understanding. We can appreciate you the more. So, as I was saying before we went off the air, it is just a shenanigan by the executive to create a distraction so that you don't know or you don't talk about their failures, the things they have failed in. It is a simple idea. That is the reason they created the same today. Those people have been released. They've been released. At least the executive succeeded in getting them into the compound of the Monrovia City, Monrovia Central Prison. They've succeeded, just as they succeeded with the former speaker and his colleagues, and now they've succeeded, and they're going to do many more of this. Expect this. Don't be surprised you wake up tomorrow morning, you hear that they're gone for this person, gone for that person, but they falter. The approach wasn't right at all. It shows again to the people here and the outside world that the government really have something in mind against certain former officials of the CDC government. You can tell from the approach. You may have a good intent, but the way you go about doing it can cause stir. So they've just created a scene, unnecessary scene they created this morning. Now, what came of that? Only to release the people. You know what it means when an assets recovery team does an investigation, is convinced of the evidence it has before it, and moves to court. In Liberia, what we're saying is just a joke. It's just like a comedy, a prank. This is a political prank. They 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 just create the scene just as the people go with prank. They set the cameras around and then they do the idea. In this case, the media are all around with the camera. So the assets recovery team, under the executive and others, they are on the scene performing. And at the close of the prank, what do you hear? You hear the people or the person say, "Oh, look over there. Look what this is just a prank." So everybody can go home now. It's finished. We're finished with the idea. At least we've shown to the people what they needed to, or we wanted them to see. This is a political prank. Look at the approach. How can you call yourself a responsible government and you stoop so low? But there is something under this thing. And all of us know that they are trying, but they do not know how to do it, but they have their target in mind. We've told you, we've talked about this thing. Last night, again, AB hinted, you all heard that, the conversation between the Minister of Information and his man, the VP. And there are a lot more that they've already discussed with their guy, Mr. President. And their target is George Weah. Everything that you see these guys doing is targeted, or they are targeting George Weah. Nothing more, nobody else. But they know that they face a Herculean task. They know that it is a mountain they will have to climb to get to Weah. And they just don't know how to do it. So they have resorted to this kind of petty stuff, going way back 25,000 bags of rice, want to know. They're beating around the bush. They're just beating around the bush, yeah. They reach, they won't come out to say the real thing. The spokesman, Joseph Daniel, said they got 17 names. 17 names. That means 17 persons. Apart from the 3 or 4 persons today, they got 17 others that the police going to move on. The government just tried to set a score. It is bad. It could plunge this country into something else. Bouakai isn't fighting corruption. He's being hailed by Unity Party supporters and others who don't know. Bouakai is doing absolutely nothing extra. Whether he suspends, he doesn't suspend, Bouakai isn't fighting corruption. What he did today, it was nothing of a political showmanship with a publicity stunt. The publicity that was given to the arrest and jailing of the speaker and his colleagues, they were excited by that. They are excited by the publicity today that we've got the authority. We are using the authority. And they say they get BMO, and they say the man, we arrested them, we sent them to South Beach. What is that? It's just political showmanship. Bouakai is achieving nothing. He's not fighting corruption. He has reduced himself to a suspension president. And people are excited. The president is moving. The president is fighting corruption. How can just suspension be corruption? Fighting corruption, and then you're going after people who? It is travesty of justice, if that ever is justice. Honor your feet. Your people are digging you. You on sinking sand. You gradually going down. Corruption all over the place, all around you. You know that very well. You seeing it and you covering it up. That is a cover up. The people who can praise Bouaka for this are the ones who aren't literate, are the ones who do not know. Bouaka is doing nothing extra. Suspension of a person or a minister is nothing. When you suspend and then you fast track that investigation, and just as you send your opponents to jail, you send them to jail, then it starts serving as a deterrent. But you're protecting the people. Suspension is protection. It's to say, look, my man, you've done that. You know that you're embarrassing me. Sit down for a while. Later on, you go back to your position. We frame it in a way that it was not about corruption, but procedural error. Then you go back. You look at all of the people. Has Bouaka taken anybody off? Then people comparing what we didn't do, Bouaka doing it. That is a blatant lie. Except you weren't in this country. You just come in. That is a blatant lie. Bouaka is doing nothing extra. Bouaka is only showing that vindictive instinct, going after his opponent. Bouaka is protecting everybody within. I can look in the president's face and tell him, Mr. President, this is selective. And not only selective, but protective. You want to do the same. You want to fast track an investigation, prosecute that person, get that person to jail, then we will know. But until then, you are only on the surface making people to feel that you are acting when you aren't acting. You're only pranking. Can do that. So yeah, is it. They free them, yeah, on bail. They've gone to their respective places. Let's see how this is going to play out. Already on the other side with the arson case, they're receiving political and legal bloody nose. They are drowning. Nothing good is happening for them going forward. They know that they've already lost the arson case. So they try to divert your attention. You have to understand the political game here. The goal, the game is divert. They've lost that. They're not going to go further with that. They don't know what to do. So they have created a distraction or a diversion to take your mind off that and fix it on another thing, which they did today. And let me say this. The target is weird. But here is it. The opposition, the executive game plan or the government game plan is working. I said this thing before you look at it. It is working. Not that the government is strong, not that they are right in everything they do, but their politics is working. It's working real good. Their plan is working. They know the strength. They know those who constitute the opposition. They know the numerical strength, the number of the opposition. They've seen unity. They've seen resolve. On top of it, they know that they can do nothing significant to convince the people from now until 2026, 2027, everything going to go into 2028. And the opposition will capitalize as they have started documenting their excesses, their failures, and every other thing. just around the election time. So the goal is create intimidatory atmosphere, make them scared, silence them, and let them go mute. What you heard last night from AB about intimidating, we are just going around there. When you say down like Mumu word, then that's it. But the plan is to just frustrate every effort of we are, because that's the only man they see. That's the only man. If we are was not involved, assume that we are said, I'm not contesting a year or two, or when he stepped down from the presidency, and he has nothing to do with politics in Liberia, he on different things, he has no time. You will not see all of these things. The guy will be realized because they know that it will be an easy ride. With the presence of WIA, the guys are intimidated, they are afraid, they are timid. So what you heard last night from AB, don't overlook that thing. These people target is George Weah. And Weah knows that very well. That is why he's conducting himself in a way that he will not fall in the trap. His trap will catch them, and all of them will be exposed. There is the one that the English people, they say, sorry, let me use the word. They say intrinsic. That means it's sitting down inside you. It's sitting down inside. It covers your whole body. An inside that the kind of hate the people have. The entire target, when the people sit down in their meeting, George Weah's name is the most significant, that the agenda item rather. We've been seeing all of the indicators, all of the signs. We've been sharing it with you. All these things that you're seeing happening right here, that petty thing. Do you know that man, they appointed that man simply to go after Weah? Do you know that the Access Recovery man has that grudge for Weah? He headed Weah Access Recovery team. From there, he went to the LACC. Everything their relationship got sour from that LACC. You think Boaga appointed him because he's the only lawyer in Liberia that knows about Access Recovery? No. Boaga appointed him on purpose. Say, execute the plan. Make sure you get to him. This is your mandate. Listen to the man talking. When you hear Edwin Clark Martin talking, we have evidence, we have done this, we're doing this, and we know them, and we will get to them. You think who he has in mind? And the people then that around that you say no, Finaden, no. The people main target that we are. I've said this thing to y'all. Yeah, you hear it be like that. Yeah, so what they give? We ain't talking all the team much because we're not there over. So, yeah, is it. The opposition, if they're not careful, they will be frozen. This government will freeze them if they're not careful. I'm not talking about holding together anymore. They are men and women. The signs are clear. They're seeing it every day. Thank God that most of them were at the Monrovia Central Prison today. And even at the court, when they did that hasty thing by showmanship, power, authority, they saw it. So I need to talk about opposition unity. It's up to you people. But what I think that you people ought to do, and you people have not seen this, this should not be discussed on air, but listen, most of you people in the opposition community, I'm talking about the stakeholders, the BB people in the opposition community, they are very stubborn. They're stubborn. Not only are they stubborn, they're insensitive. Insensitive. Not only are they insensitive, they don't care And it is the last one, that don't care attitude, got the speaker in this whole situation. When wisdom was coming to him, he felt that he's too clever. So he was not picking up wisdom. He felt that he could not listen because he has so much idea. And that what getting, that what negligence does. When people saying something, you put it aside. You show don't care attitude. Watch it. When we sit down here, we're talking. There is the media war. Warfare is inclusive, or everything is inclusive of warfare. One of the greatest weapons in a political warfare is the media, communication, propaganda. In the West, the people take that very serious, and they support it to the core. They pump money into the institutions that on their side, government and pro-government institutions, they're not lacking anything. The government pumping money into those pro-media, pro-government institutions and government institutions. And look, watch the trend of reporting. We in the business, we follow each other. They are only picking up the negatives about the opposition. That's why they put on their page. That's why they carry on the radio. That's why they do. They're not saying anything positive about the opposition. As far as they're concerned, it is not their business whether opposition exists or not. Then the government is stifling that, look, not a dime should go on the other side, because that way they will be in power. In warfare, if you fortify yourself, you can't go anywhere. You can't do anything significant. As much as we are pushing for a comeback. When I say comeback, it's not entirely or only CDC, because it is the opposition. Right now, that's all the opposition political parties, all the opposition political parties. That means the elite, because there are a number of opposition political parties. They exist, but you can't see any substance. I mean the ones that are proactive, the ones that are active, the ones that have come together and are facing the government. Those are the opposition parties I'm talking about. In other countries, their media, they support their media. The government is pumping money into their media institutions, both traditional and online media. Look at the reporting. Just do a careful survey. Follow them. You find out that about 60 to 75% of their reportage against the opposition, they are motivated, they are excited to put those information out about the opposition. And that's what the government wants. The stakeholders of the opposition, what do you see them do? They have no time for their own. The speaker used to sit over there, dish out thousands of United States dollars. He never one day said, oh, my media people, we are in the opposition. We need to refresh our people on the other side. When he got into what he's in now, all of the radio stations that make up the opposition community, the opposition media, they made it their responsibility, taking the risk, putting their reputation on the line, their life on the line, to fight it head on. And they were successful. You see how it's going today, and they stay on it. They will never think and say, let's take 1 gallon. Let's take 1 gallon to Kings. Let's take 1 gallon to to Freedom. Let's take 1 gallon to Banner. Let's take 1 gallon to VOL. Let's take 1 gallon today. They were never. But they want the opposition radio must sit down, do everything all by themselves, advocate for them, say things for them, get them excited, and then they say, yeah, we are opposition. The media war, there's the media war in this whole thing. And the government is having edge. Why the government is having edge? Because they sit over the coffers. Why you think they established or they set up all of those strings? Class Reloaded this, the other one that. Why you think they're spreading it all over? They have resolved to make sure that it reaches the entire country, feeding on other radio stations and online that can go as far. What do you think the government is doing? They're using the media. The media is not only exertive, proactive, but the media is a mind changer. The media sways opinion. The media can overturn a decision from the opposition itself, from the government, just from anywhere in society. Who told you that a certain government likes a strong, vocal, radical opposition media? The reason they establish all of those media cells to make sure that our voice doesn't resonate. That's in a simple strategy. A simple strategy. We criticize those people in the communication sector of government because it's an intellectual stuff, but it doesn't say that they are not informed. They are not info, or they are not communications people. They know. Most times, you people are aware that I come down hard. I criticize PR. But it doesn't say that PR does not have communication knowledge. It was PR who brought this idea of Class Reloaded and other stuff. And before that thing happened, while they were arranging it, a couple of months ago, we came on the show and told you that it was just the time that Gafwan came. And they had that meeting and they put it before or threw it on the lap of the Minister of Information to spearhead it. And they pump in thousands of dollars. If you see most of what the people reporting, it's against the opposition, and they're promoting the government. They're promoting the government. Even though they know that some of the things are not right, but money going there. Money going there. Our own people in the opposition, we got to be begging. We got to beg them practically. They want us to fall at their feet, prostrate at their feet, and beg them before, even as that they can. The people ain't even like their own. You call an opposition person on this radio. The fact that the man feels that this is an opposition radio and that we are radio and Banner FM is owned by the other person and the other person is owned by the other person. So you're just sitting there, you'll be talking. When you talk for us as much as you people can, then we're going on the other radio station to sit down there and talk. But that's the same media outlet. Everybody has their own audience. The media war, unless the opposition get to know. I told you of a gathering that we're in. My director of news and I, we went to eat, talking. Then the fella said, he just bumped in that curiosity. He said, this voice sounds familiar. He said, this voice sounds like a guy we often hear on the radio. You're in that kind of situation, you get people around, so you don't want to be disrespectful, bad mannerism to say, oh no, that's not me. So he said, it sounds that the only thing he didn't know was the full name, because you are only hearing the voice. And he's familiar with the voice. So when the introduction was made, he said, good. He said, yes. Then We're lecturing from one end to another. What did the guy say? It kept my director on news speechless. The man said, my man, you guys, the media, especially you guys that are not government institutions, if ever was the time that the opposition, the stakeholders need you, if they should come back to power, you guys should be the focus. Because this whole fight now, only the media can take it head on. The guy was lecturing us like an expert from BBC, VOA that came to do a workshop on communication and propaganda. The man's talking. We're sitting in a restaurant, we're eating, we're just listening to the man, providing us, enhancing our knowledge. And he was right, even though it wasn't strange. But he was right. It was just a unique lecture gathering that at the end of the day, we exchange contacts, we are friends today. There's the media war in this whole something too. You see how it's going. Look at how it started this morning. Went far and wide. People concluded the people have not even been charged whatsoever. Nothing brought before them. Could they not say anything? You see them running with it. All on their pages, pro-government, government institutions, the people are guilty. They did this and that. They did this thing. The president is doing well. Yeah, all kinds of stuff they're reading all over the place. But they warn us because it is out, so we should just be talking for them, which is not bad. Because we're already inside now. We sign up to it, there's nothing we can do. But you want to be supportive of your own. You think what the West use? China media war. You don't play with it in other countries around the world. The people pump so much money. They upgrade. But they have no time whatsoever to say, let's empower our own. They can. And the government media strategy is working, it's working. Let them brag about it. It's working. But it's not gaining the kind of result they want. Because you know why? We're around. They can only gain the result that they want if we weren't around. But we're around, we're countering because we are aware. But you can win a battle not using all of your weapons. One of the sophisticated weapons in political warfare is the media. Until they can come to their senses, they will experience these things, will continue to go against them. Listen, in other countries, the people don't hide. They don't pretend. On the other side, they sending aid. They're saying this, they're saying that, it's there. The government gets scared and say, oh, look, you hold on to that. You're leaving. Tension is rising. You're looking at the people. We're seeing it. Every day we're seeing the right out. We're listening to the commentary. We're following all of those things. On the other side, they got no time. They don't want to know where opposition radio station is this or not. Whether opposition did something very good for this country, they can never put it out. They will not highlight it. You know why? As far as they're concerned, it will be against Buckeye. So they will not give them credit. But who can highlight us? But do they find it necessary to help us as we're helping them? No. Will we continue? Will we feel weak? No. Will we not help at all? We will continue. Doesn't it make sense to say Yes. Communication in anything is vital. The world has reached a point now you can do nothing without communication, without information, without publicity, without the media. You can. So that will be doing it for that. The guys are out. Let me get to Senator Conan. Amara Conan said something. The police, I know they would say they're sending that to the police standard division again, or they will deny it. When Councillor Per Brambu say the police just move in and then, bam, the woman naked. Access recovery people. I want to share with you something Amara Conan wrote, which is a jab against his own men. Okay. Yeah, what he's saying. He said, when you are presenting a problem, always present a solution. When you are presenting a problem, always present a solution. Anyone who wants to lead the orchestra must turn his back on the crowd. There is a difference between need and want. You identify the problem, how you find a solution. Instead, you create more problems. Look at what it is with Buckeye. Look under his own feet. Look within his terrain. What do you see? He bringing it out. We don't know. He's telling us that corruption is under his feet. His people are corrupt by the suspension. And his solution is suspension. You call that a serious thing? The LACC now is embarrassed. The ones that were there before the recent LACC can't do anything. NOCAL. Why can they fast track the NOCAL stuff? Because you know why? Bwaga is muted on it. The person that appointed or the patron for the NOCAL boss is one of Bwaga key men. One of those, a Daha United Party supporter, whom we know very well that a person will say this person is going to XYZ position and he can't say anything. Most of what you have at the LACC, that the LACC is sleeping on it, that interest there, people interest. Everybody, yesterday they say, oh, we are appointing people. Samuel Magede and Twede, Molba Molu was going from place to place, taking paper, carrying paper there to employ citizens. That is the same thing they're doing. Their GHC report, Ministry of State, the thing they accuse we are for, supplementary payroll. Did Bwaga say anything about it? Did he? Did Bwaga say anything about that? That one, they leave it. Because you know why? They laid a Cornelia, how they call that? Cornelia Kratokpa is the daughter of the labor minister. So tell me, the woman is caught in a GSC report. Bwaga regime, no business as usual. Bwaga dismisses her. What's going to happen to Kopokra? Will he feel happy and say, yes, Bwaga is serious for corruption? No. It's going to be an uneasy atmosphere. Those of you who shouting all over the place, yeah, no business as usual. The president is really, the car is racing. All of you people, you know, are jinxing. That's what they call political distraction. They're using your Bwaka honor Bwaka feed corruption all over, but Bwaka dare touch those people. So he comes outside. Not a distraction, but diversion. He comes outside. Go to this other person. Go to the other person. Then they yelling. Oh, the president see you for corruption. The president is reading out corruption. Former president, we didn't do anything. None of it. He ain't doing a thing. He's just revolving, just standing around in the same place. There are instances, given the situation, you dismiss. So instead of finding solution, he complicating everything. Tomorrow they will go after some people again. You're just going after people from on the other side. Going after them. But it will take you the next 1,000 years, just how the Chinese people can say, 1,000 years to get to where? Diversionary tactics. This is a complete diversionary tactics from JMB's failure. You ain't understanding it? It's complete diversionary tactics here. Simple. It's not hard to understand. Watch it. Tomorrow again, another event coming up. So let's get the people attention of this. They're talking about this too much. Yellow machine this, and the other one that, and the other one that, and we know that it's not really working. What do we do? And time, I told you, time is fading out. Time is running out on the government. Today is the 26th. Couple of months from now, we in 2026. Tell me if I lie. If you have not experienced it, well, I have known our culture. Next year, the National Elections Commission, you hear them talking about training of this, doing this other one, that other one, ahead of the 2029 elections. In the middle, 2027, you hear the National Elections Commission saying they have submitted XYZ budget to the legislature. You think this government know? You think they know the timing? When you say that, when you get grudge in mind, when you just focus your attention on people instead of doing what you ought to do, time fades with you. Before you can realize it, it is late. That is why they're creating all of these things. They know. Instead of focusing, have you come to the realization that they have nothing significant? They're using 2 years to keep grudge and go after people. With those 2 years, sufficient time to do something. But again, that's what can happen when you have longer time. You feel relaxed. If that referendum had gone through and the reduction by voting, if the people have voted the reduction of the presidency from 6 to 4, they won't be doing this thing. Assume that the referendum got into full effect, all of those things happen, and then the presidency is 4 years. How many Bwaga will have only 2 years? And what's going to happen? They're lucky. But 6 years, not long. If you know how the National Elections Commission works, national election is not a one-room election. It's not by-election that can be conducted that you just need few dollars, like what the commission did. They sent few dollars to the legislature And if they have not approved it yet, they will approve it. They will go and conduct. You saw the senatorial by-election. How long did they take the National Elections Commission? Less than no time, it finished. But it is not like that with national election. National election, you're talking about the entire country. So preparation starts ahead of time. And the government will have nothing to campaign on. You cannot campaign on excuses. You cannot campaign on we didn't have time. And so you need to give us the 6 years. The next 6 years we'll do that, we'll do that. No. The people are exposed now. We are gradually getting enlightened in our culture. Talking about yellow marching more than 6 months. All kinds of things in the legislature too. Thank God Almighty, the legislature is helping to chakla things for Boakai. Thank God. Oh yes, all of these things are happening. Look, listen, you'll be excited about these things. Come on. 6 years ago, everything that were happening, they were excited about it, and they were capitalizing on it, and they were scoring political points from it, and that's what led you to go out. So don't be afraid. Capitalize on all of these things. It is a political warfare. Why you think they're doing what they're doing? So that they too will put you off anything that you can concentrate to move forward. Let's go to the line and have the rest of the day with you. They released them from the central prison just by surety. That means a person will guarantee the accused will comply with the bail conditions and will appear in court. But if the accused failed to meet the conditions set as per that surety, they can be picked up again. Yeah. So they out. Yeah. Ibrahim, yeah, I learned that Ibrahim Yan was there. I hope Waka doesn't dismiss him. Yeah. I hope Waka doesn't dismiss him. Let's go. But before then, what do we do before we get to you? And then we're out, Sarah. We went off. LEC left, so the generator had to come on. It took a little while, but that's it. Emmanuel Sa Yowo said this was the same problem we have when they were in power. They forgot the media. Lena Addison outlined rise that CDC weakness. That's what JMB is claiming. All Prezo projects. Yeah, but you see, nobody highlighting. Except when a government minister or somebody do a write out, attributing it to Boakai, then after 1 or 2 days or 3 days, somebody will just come. That is the essence. When the people say days, you come out and share the information, or you send it to the media. We should be exposing, we should be talking about everything that we did, how he did it, those things that were in the pipeline that we was unable because of time, and all of those things. They have those. The ones that we know about, we talk. And they know, they have the deeper understanding of how all of those things were initiated. But I bet you, just take your telephone, you call a former government official. The people say King's FM dirty, King's FM stinks, King very nasty. Who going to sit down order? Let's go on the other side. Banana FM stink, Banana FM dirty. Who going to say as VOS stink, VOS dirty? Who going to sit down there? Let's go on the other side. Prince McCall said, "You are right." And Josephus Manning said, "Okay, you will be back 2029. Esther Mulba Tobe said, "They will fall into their own trap." James Yapka will say, "Thanks a million for informing us, Liberians." That's it. If you can support your own, well, then that's it. Oh. So let's get to you're on 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 98 0375, and the rest of the time for you. Next week Tuesday, nobody on the air can tell me happy birthday. No. You know what you ought to do. Hello.
Good afternoon, Sir Andrew.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I need my doing now for a conference assembly in Nikita.
Let's hear your email.
Oh, okay. This one is 20. This government is serious. They have nothing to tell the Liberian people. But they're going after people doing all kinds of funny things. So thank you, sir.
Thank you for calling. Have a nice Thursday. Where the other side? Hello.
Yeah, hello, Mr. St. Andrew.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, thank you. We see something creeping. Am I loud?
Chief, you are on the air. You are on the air.
Listen. I said we see something creeping. We see something creeping. It happened like this in 1985. When they went hard until they creep until Allah, they begin to ban the party to take them from the race. It's the same thing, the same strategy that Joseph Boakai is bringing. They will carry that thing like they be hanging on all the officials, the past officials to Allah. They will hang on the president. Our president does, we are then Allah. When CDC raised up, then they will ban the parties against space. Because they know the CDC is the only outrider that can take them from the race. These are things that are creeping. So we should be very mindful and careful. Thank you.
Good. Have a nice Thursday. Hello.
Hello, Sam Andrew.
Let's hear your name, where you call from.
This is your sister from Southeast City, calling from Clarendon. My brother, you are fairly off. Hello? Hello, you there?
No, you talk. You on the air, man. See,
Okay.
once I say hello, it means that everybody listening to you.
No, I thought the phone went off. I was asking. Don't say I want to say thank you for the show. You said it all about what government will feature, what they were doing. It was in power. I charted the cause of protest against Kiss FM. When it was proceeding, you know what I'm saying? I charted the cause. Hey, my military is part of now. Who charted the cause to go to Kiss and protest and wanted chief for Kiss FM? But they will not profile the of Kiss FM when it was suffering. The people were stranded. Come to you saying that, oh yeah, the other place is gone. So go sure the people to threaten them in that place. We don't want to go from place to place to help to people going live. But today, my again. When you are saying, my friend, 100%, it happened enough in position. They will not go there. My brother put at me and CJ. Me and CJ people are there with your party. Most of them are wicked. So they will get you a job. You get a job. So if you have a syndicate, one team of one winner shit, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. When you call them and say, oh, that a mass station, but they may get you a job. Put your hand up. You said a mass station. So what you saying that too? With opposition, I get a what? It will be worse than ever before. They just have God carry you, God grace carry you. But we're talking for them. We're talking for them. Nothing going on. The people, they will not change. The people, they will not change. Our Lord, because they will come official in the government, they will not change. It will be worse than ever before. And so the issue of going after people, you set it up, my brother. You said it. Let the post to him that I carry post to America. Tell what you want America because they send it back. He came back with bitterness. Everyone that came back with bitterness today, they are against John Weir. They make you power go and go for people. And we go for people, let it be realistic. Let the whole world see that yes, indeed, because of corruption. But when it be happy, what are you doing now? You say rest issue. You put us out of where arrest people to send it to the court and take them to solve this. You see it correct? You cannot put your corruption allegation against them. You can't nowhere. You say suspended. So you get go home. So let me I mean, it went free.
All right, my sister.
So they went free. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello, Shem.
Yes.
Almost for the question was content. The thing that me say I want to cry.
But cry now. Cry.
I feel going I follow our more. I get feeling wishing in my room. What saying that? Chen, we are going over air and talk the women. How we can get out of the match? Say that the match is. One of our women that are in the social waiting to get us. But match say women are saying do not go outside before they go killing. I said no. Social women white on our front part. Nobody will tell you. But it's getting worse. They're getting wet. Who are they listening to our plan on you? What about party? They say the anything happen and you will come for. It's getting wet.
You went off. You went off. Hello. Hello.
Who say your Kazal?
Oh, I mean, that Kazal. Somebody tell your Kazal when you talking. Then you dial the station.
Good afternoon, dear brother.
Good afternoon.
This is Mr. David from Boys Town.
Mr. David, that's all, Mr. David.
My attentions are due to the issue of
Chief, call your last name. You don't call into radio station and only the first name.
It's probably not hear me. Sorry. I said Mr. David Freeman from Maggie. District number 1, Boys Town.
Yeah, let's hear you, Freeman.
Thank you. My attention, the allegations of corruption, I think my attention drew from the Doe administration. I think Doe is the first person, the first former president that came out with a search for his own and put people on level by killing them on the level while their children, their family standing. Then after the late Samuel Doe, the next person I think that repeating it is this government. But the good thing about this government, you don't need to kill the people. If they are found guilty, it's still at all. We don't need to kill one. We do not need to kill that people nowhere. They are not going nowhere. They will remain. We all remain like prayer. But it's a true example. We need to kill one another. We don't need to kill nobody because of the person.
Who killing people?
No, I say happy before, but Mr. Don't make a mistake by killing people on the level for corruption, allegation. I say.
All right.
I said the next person who repeated it is this government.
Thank you.
We not need to kill.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You could see the crowd when they released the accused, especially D. Maxwell Kimaya, to his lawyer, Councillor Per Brown Bull. You could see the crowd, the human beings that show up. Hello.
Good afternoon, Andrew.
Good afternoon.
This is Peter Callum calling from Township of West Point. Thank you for the program. I will always remind really party people. Every time I call over to you, always remind them. They can't talk enough for right alone. They talk enough for the broken. The person so be too small in the start your way. So be small. So if the start your way that is going to try. So I will wait and say that pay that so be where say that or send nothing we pay there. It is not too strong. We wait and that's error.
All right, Chief, your line is cracking, man. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello? Yeah, you are on.
Yeah, it is Sandy, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank God. And you?
I'm trying this Pastor Shadachi. Thank you for your information. We know that this country is in a serious problem. And you people are the one that keep you all straight. Other than that, some opinion whatever from this city. Another thing I want to say, the next government I will take over Baka government, they need to reboot this country. That's the only way. Because the memory of the country is down and the country is nowhere. We don't know where we come from, we don't know where we're going. So keep on helping us. Go on earth, some of will pack our feet to run away from the country. Thank you.
Thank you too for calling in. Have a nice day. Very interesting. What's happening? They say member Briggs Mensa entered the session with a uniform on. I think. Yeah. Yesterday they said Yeke was not properly dressed. He was asked to get outside dressed good. I told you about that House of Representatives. It is a fun, fair area. No disrespect to the intelligent men and women over there, refined ones, but the few unrefined, unruly ones often cause people to say all kinds of things about that place. The Senate is refined. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, at my car.
Mhm.
I used to have a no star. I know that 8911. Is that your number?
No, the Lone Star is 886-673-922. That Lone Star
your
being
number.
no
Yeah, I don't have your
673-922.
number. If you can take your number, please text me your no star. Yeah, I took it before.
Yeah,
The boy,
673.
because you myself share the same voice more on the 28th.
That number can change for record ages.
Yeah. You know, the government every day they got to create something, to take our attention. General yourself, like I was saying one of the stations. I said the government is practice. That's what they can do. When they know that there is a serious issue that going on and they are missing on that particular thing, they come up with another one, so it will take the citizen attention from what is going on. That's how to do, because where in the world you will go and arrest somebody, then the judge are going to be receiving the people. I want to say that the judge was not there. So how come? How did they issue the rate and you are not there to receive the report that they were bringing to you? Stay there to jail the next few hours, you put them outside. As a required thing. Somebody was last week say, wait now, as a required thing going for arrest now, arrest so we finish it. They got me an answer on that arrest though. I want to make bro one time for one of different issue. She said the arrest here for you people. She gave me one bag or 1,000 LD, so I think they need to come to because I answer on that arrest. So so you don't do things like that.
Emokai, you know one of the things that making the people vex, they say we are hard on the arrest propos. So by their reasoning, he took he took that which was not his to be his personal stuff. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, but Emokai, you in your Boaga saying it? You're in your Boaga statement. You go to Boaga statement. Why are you referencing? He said he did not say we are talking. He put it in his name. Hold on. Yeah, my man, hold on. I know. I'm looking at you. Okay, you just wait. Just listen to me. So in Boaga statement, he did not say. You did not see it there. He told somebody or something for the country and put it in his name. But if you analyze Boaka's statement, we are good at exactly what he's referencing. But he didn't want to come to say it the way I'm saying it. He think he's smart. Let's go now, Chief.
Yeah. Mr. Sandro, how are you?
Yeah, fine. Fine. And you?
Thank God, Mr. Sandro. Thank you for your deliberation. Mr. Sandro, I don't know why what national police continue to go after people out of ignorance to the Why are they doing this? They just going after people. They are not protective citizens. Just recently, we heard a lady by the name of Tiane. She was killed somewhere, and her body was burned. Why the police say about such incidents? They are not concerned about protecting the citizens, but they just going after people, arrest people, and putting people in jail. I want to create a brand butter in the country. They are creating more harm for themselves, more enemies for this government. I don't know what kind of things we find ourselves in this country. They pray, no good news. They just going after prominent people in the society. You think that will make people to love the government? Just create a kind of radical situation in this country. Thank you very frustrating, man.
All right, Chief. Have a great Thursday. Hello.
Yes, I will have my best.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ona. You said it all. I want to tell you, 1980. The way of coming, the view of way, or it's what of it with 1990. Or it's a 90. It's coming. She said, when I get a labuye, you say, when I get a labuye, what if I be Sinisha, I will be laughing. It's coming. We were coming, we were one person. It's all labuye. The hard parent coming small. So they got it. What they got to say, I mean, say. They can't just die. That woman can go to the place and go look on Jesus. They found. They say, better eat it. So they go to 41. So you want to say, who the woman? Is that it? Hello?
Yeah, mother. I listen to you. I enjoy it. I enjoy you talking.
They get outside. They want to put everybody inside. We welcome. Enough. They get it serious. They get it serious. But I say, people say they will see. That's it. See that corruption. That corruption. So they get out of your bar. They wait for you to go and make it up about take it back. They get inside there.
All right.
So, women, let's see what they got talking about. See, what they say about zero. And put all that zero.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All of you, thank you. You did well. Yeah, you did well. Sorry, we have to go. Let me share with you the statement that came from the Assets Recovery Office on what happened today. This is their statement. It said, the government of Liberia, through the Asset Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force, in collaboration with the Ministry of Justice, has secured a major indictment against several former and current government officials and employees. This action follows a detailed investigation into the illegal handling and diversion of 29,412 bags of rice donated by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in April 2023. Just stop calling, listening to the statement. You're listening to the statement, reading the statement, then you're calling. And I'm taking calls from here. I go almost 5:30. The show ends at 5:30. Listen to the statement. I'm about to call the names besides the ones today, the other names that the people going after. So stop calling. Listen. The rice was intended to support disaster victims and vulnerable communities across Liberia. Indicted individuals include D. Maxwell Sakimaya, former Minister of Foreign Affairs; Mary Braw, former Director General, General Services Agency; Vani A. Salif, former Minister of Internal Affairs; Thelma Sawyer, former Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs Administration; Henry O. Williams, former Executive Director, National Disaster Management Agency; Augustine Tamba, Deputy Director for Operations. Augustine M. Colley, Director of Disaster Victims. Edward S. Conan, Employee, NDMA. Achivingo M. Doe, Communications Director, NDMA, that's the National Disaster Management Agency. Idris Bility, former Deputy Director for Operations, GSA. Mami Davis, Assistant Director, GSA. Momolu Johnson, Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs, Administration. Rosetta L. Gbese Bowa, Logistics Officer, National Disaster Management Agency. Wefa Siafa, purported CEO, Group of 77. Wefa Siafa, purported CEO, Group of 77. Evelyn B, Warehouse Manager, GSA. Our investigation revealed that 25,054 bags of rice, valued at approximately over 4 million, were unlawfully diverted by the accused instead of reaching the intended disaster victims. The rice was stolen through secret and unauthorized meetings, usurpation of National Disaster Management Agency statutory authority, and removal and distribution of rice without documentation or legal process. Some suspects have admitted to their roles, confirming a coordinated internal conspiracy and severe abuse of public trust. Then the crimes, which is the concluding part. Crimes charged include theft of property, economic sabotage, misapplication of entrusted property, abuse of office, criminal conspiracy. These crimes for which they were indicted under Liberian law constitute a grave breach of public trust and accountability. This scandal has inflicted significant damage. That the reason how they give him what they're doing. Disaster victims were denied critical food assistance. Saudi Arabia's generous donation was misused. International trust was undermined, and public confidence in government institutions was further weakened. This indictment is the first of 3 investigations completed out of 30 active cases currently under investigation by ARET. Additional indictments, additional indictments are expected in July, meaning in July. They put telling you ahead of time that a statement right before me. They say in July they will arrest several individuals again. So you'll be aware. Additional indictments are expected in July. In line with legal procedures, the government has also issued a near ex republica travel restriction, that's what it means in law, to ensure that none of the accused flee the country during prosecution. Under the leadership of Councillor Edwin Clark Martin, AREP reaffirms its commitment to investigating, recovering, and prosecuting all instances of public asset theft. This indictment sends a clear message that corruption will not go unpunished. The task force remains fully engaged with national and international partners to restore public trust and ensure that public resources serve the Liberian people. That's their statement. Okay. So they say in July they're arresting more people or several. So that's it. That's all the time we've got. Thank you ever so much. The news is on at 6. Join us if you can for the latest on the events that unfolded today and others. And then at 8 this evening, face the issues with Teacher Light, Anthony at Law, A.B. William. You don't want to miss it. Fascinating as always is going to be. Thank you so much. If God permits, we're back on tomorrow. Okay, yes. Today is Friday. Oh no, Thursday. I take it today to be Friday. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. I'm Sam Andrews.